He was a superstar, a musical genius, a cultural icon. But what if I told you that behind the awards and sold-out arenas was one of the most disturbing criminal networks in the music industry? This is the shocking truth about R. Kelly's rise to power, the decades of silence, and the 2021 conviction that finally brought his empire crumbling down. Robert Sylvester Kelly, known as R. Kelly, was once the king of R&B. With hits like Ignition Remix, Bump and Grind, and the iconic I Believe I Can Fly, he shaped the sound of a generation. He sold over 75 million records worldwide, won 3 Grammy Awards, wrote hits for Michael Jackson, Celine Dion and more. But even in the 1990s, whispers of troubling behavior began to follow him. Stories of young girls, secret marriages and hush money. The world kept dancing, while something sinister was growing in the shadows. Kelly's methods weren't random. Prosecutors would later say he operated like a criminal enterprise. He had recruiters, handlers, even a playbook. His victims, mostly young girls and women, some underage, lured by promises of fame. Victims described being locked in rooms, denied food, isolated from family. They had to call him Daddy. Some were forced to record humiliating videos under threat. This wasn't just abuse. This was organized human trafficking. In 2019, Lifetime released the groundbreaking docuseries, Surviving R. Kelly. Survivors spoke out in chilling detail, and this time the world listened. Public outrage followed. Radio stations pulled his music. Celebrities distanced themselves. But more importantly, federal prosecutors launched an investigation. The man who once dodged every bullet was finally in the crosshairs. In September 2021, R. Kelly was found guilty on all 9 counts in a federal racketeering and sex trafficking trial in Brooklyn, New York. The charges included sexual exploitation of children, forced labor, and violation of the Mann Act, which prohibits transporting individuals for immoral purposes across state lines. The prosecution called 45 witnesses, including 11 victims. Some survivors were as young as 14 when the abuse began. He didn't just act alone. The jury heard how his managers, assistants, and entourage helped recruit, control, and silence the victims. Even after the conviction, something unexpected happened. His music streams rose. Supporters claimed he was framed. Some said he was a victim of a racist system. Others refused to believe the women. How could someone so talented be so evil? And here lies the real twist. We helped him stay powerful. We danced to the music. We ignored the signs. We allowed the illusion to live, while his victims were trapped. Today R. Kelly sits behind bars. In June 2022, he was sentenced to 30 years in prison. More charges still await him in other states. But the story doesn't end here. The industry must answer for how it enabled this, and we, the public, must question our part in letting it go on for so long. This wasn't just a fall from grace. It was a house of horrors hiding in plain sight.